Okay, so we'll pick up right where we left off yesterday. Just a quick recap. We did the video where basically we created a survey for a vacation company, and we did all the steps using nothing but apps, Google Apps, and AI, and that was intentional. So not a single line of code I had to write because AI can do it for us now. And but essentially, we created the survey form using Google Forms from by using AI, and then basically we have the ability to enter these surveys, and it puts them all in Google spreadsheet, and so then we were able to look at the results and basically see where things are. The approach worked perfectly, so there's no problem there. But if we wanted to fully automate it, make it truly autonomous, then that's what we're going to do today. And we're going to use a tool called Relay.app, which is an exceptional automation tool, in my opinion, something that I definitely recommend. And it's run from some people who are extremely not only knowledgeable, provide excellent service in terms of support. I mean, and to me, whatever tool you're going to use, whether it does the job or doesn't do the job, all of that can be worked out. But if it doesn't have a good support, then you're basically wasting your time trying to do anything with it. So you have to have support. And the folks at Relay app are always very responsive and just super nice people to deal with. So definitely recommend them for any kind of automation. So in terms of our stuff, what do we need to do? We need to do a couple of things. We need to first grab the spreadsheet content, and we need to use AI. We'll use AI to create some sort of a prompt to look at the data, evaluate and analyze the data, and then evaluation be sent via email. That's kind of the concept. And then for going forward in the future, then the concept would be that people go fill out these forms. The forms is just a link from an email. They just go to email, and they get this every so often. Most likely when they leave their vacation place, then they get this email saying thank you, et cetera, and then there's a link to fill out the survey if they would like. And so then they fill out the survey using Google Form, and then once they submit it, it goes into Google Spreadsheet. All of that's done. There's no involvement from the company sending the surveys, because everything is handled automatically and by the people, the customers, basically. And then what we're trying to do is we're trying to get an evaluation of where things are based on these surveys. And, you can do it on any kind of schedule you want. In my case, I'm going to show you how to do it on a weekly basis. But you can set it up to do it on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, whatever you prefer. Potentially every time somebody fills out a survey. I mean, there's different ways to look at it. But the important thing is that we're trying to automate everything where the whole process is run completely on its own. Obviously, people still need to fill out these surveys, but other than that, everything else is completely automated, including reporting to management or whoever needs to be reported to on what's going on with these surveys. So yesterday I finished where I created the first video, and you can get the link to the first video down below. We got the whole process done in less than 45 minutes, and that's because I talk too much. But today we're going to continue. I'll try to make it as simple as possible and explain as much as possible. We're not going to be doing a tutorial on Relay.app, but I'll explain what I'm doing so you can see how it works. And also, as you can see from the screen here, that I generated the Google YouTube thumbnail image for the video yesterday using, in this case, it was called Ideogram. So it's AI, it's called ideogram.ai, and it does a beautiful job. You can get, as I mentioned, most of the things I'm doing, I'm showing you can be gotten for free. So, a lot of these things are free, and you can generate thumbnails, you can generate all kinds of images, you can generate videos. You can basically do almost anything with AI these days. So definitely do it. As I always say, use AI. And let's just get right into it and see what we can do here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to jump into Relay.app. And they have a free plan, which is pretty generous. So definitely you can sign up for it to play with it. And also they have paid plans. If you're going to use it more, then obviously that. So I'm logged into my account here, and I'm going to do this autonomous surveys report. It's my workflow, as they call it. I'll give you a little description of what it is. So the way Relay works is it has a bunch of different steps. And typically, you're creating a workflow where you go from step to step to step, and each step is using some sort of app, which is, which Relay is connected to, and then it puts out some sort of output, which is then fed into the input of a different step. It doesn't have to be the next step; it could be a few steps below. But the point is, you have this input, you have some sort of action, and then you have output, and then you create a workflow with all of these different things, and you get your end result. In our case, here's what we're going to do. First thing that you always do in Relay workflows is you come up with some sort of a trigger. And the idea there is that it can't figure out when to run. In other words, you're trying to do these steps, but when? When should these steps be taken? And so one possibility would be they would be taken based on some sort of action. For example, once you get an email, you want to do something with an email as an automated set of steps. So that's one possibility for a trigger. Another possibility would be you get a new row added to a spreadsheet. Okay, and then whenever a new row is added, then you want to take some action. So that's possibilities of action-based triggers. Another possibility could be, I don't want it run when something happens. I want it run specifically on certain days, certain time. So in this particular case, I'm setting it up so I want to run this process, this automated process, on a weekly basis. So let's say at the end of every Sunday night. So I set up a trigger, and the trigger is what they call schedule trigger. And so the schedule itself, it says triggers and schedule. I set it up, configured for every Sunday. Of course, I can configure it to be whatever day I want. As you can see, when you click on it, it lets you select time and day. And then you can select repeats. You can do it using any possibilities there in terms of dates, times. So very, very flexible. So that's my trigger starting on tomorrow, Sunday, at 11:45 p.m. Pacific time, and basically continue to do the same thing every Sunday. That's the trigger. It'll automatically run. Okay, we're not going to wait till tomorrow. We're going to run it now, but you get the idea. It'll automatically run every Sunday. And in Google Sheets, I want to look at everything. Basically, they have a feature called Find in terms of content. And I'm not looking for specific data. I'm just saying grab everything you have in there. So all the rows that are not empty, just grab them. And then they want to feed those results into the next step. Then we're going to take the spreadsheet contents of the spreadsheet where all the responses are, and we're going to give it an AI prompt to come up with the summary that AI will generate. And then we want to send it. In this case, it sends it to me via email, via Gmail. So it's a fairly straightforward. You can see only 4 steps. Very simple. So let's go ahead and execute this first so we can look at basically what it does. And so we'll do this test run. And you can see as it's running, it's actually saying what it's doing and so on and so forth. And then when it gets done, it says run completed. And so if it worked correctly, then I should have an email. Okay, right there. So over here, you see within a few seconds, I get the email that says survey results. And if we open this up to be the main thing here on display, you can see what it looks like. So it says the feedback recording spreadsheet reveals a mixed experience with our services, as reflected in the ratings from 3 recent customers. Basically gives us everything we need based on information in that spreadsheet. And it's got a fairly concise report, and that's exactly what I wanted to get, kind of like executive summary and suggestions of what to do. Beneficial to implement comprehensive feedback and training program, focus on consistent service standards. Basically gives you the normal deals, but at the same time it also says additionally investing in upgraded technology for booking processes will streamline customer interactions, potentially reduces complaints and ease of booking. So very good basically items to do. And over here it talks about address concerns about booking difficulty. So it looks at the data, obviously, and based on the data, it comes up with these actionable items and so on. So then there's my report. So on a weekly basis, it will look at the spreadsheet with everything that's there, and then it's going to continually send me on every Sunday the results based on everything that people have entered, not just since last time, but overall. So you kind of have an overall feel. Obviously, it could be changed to show where you can cut it off so it only shows the last week or the last month. There's a zillion different ways to do it, but the basic concept is very simple. You created a spreadsheet yesterday that has the results from a survey using Google Forms. Customers can enter those Google Forms. The spreadsheet gets populated, and then on a weekly basis, this automatic workflow runs that takes the results or takes this spreadsheet content and then gives it to AI. So basically, this is what the prompt I gave it. Give me a concise executive summary of the content of this spreadsheet with numbered list of actionable items and then a paragraph with suggestions of improvement. Keep it simple to understand but professionally meaningful. That's the prompt I'm giving to AI, okay? And I'm telling you to use as data, I'm telling you to use the information from the spreadsheet. So it's as simple as that. And then we have this kind of output that comes out, looks like this. So this is the email we get, and as you can see, it looks where it has all the different items. It says, well, 2 customers rated their overall experiences positively, 9 and 7 out of 10. 1 customer provided a significantly low score of 1. The overall sentiment demonstrates strong customer satisfaction and accommodations and amenities for some, while highlighting areas of urgent attention for others. And it says we need enhanced communication because of booking difficulty indicated, and investigate complaints regarding cleanliness and comfort to ensure so on. Improve lighting, focus on resolving issues with lighting, because remember we mentioned that when one party showed up, they didn't have lights working. So all of this, as you can see, we have actionable items that need to be taken care of by the staff to handle this based on the results there. And so what we can do is we can go back to, let's say we went to the spreadsheet. So let's go ahead and go to the live form here via the tools menu, and let's put in a couple more entries. So we're going to give another, let's say 6, and we'll say we're neutral. I'm just going to fill it in with some additional information here. And we'll say here that I couldn't get my Tesla charged. You need to address EV customers better. Okay, something like that. I think I will just put that in there, and then we'll put in one more. And we'll say this one is another 10. Very satisfied. Everything was absolutely stunning and very easy. This was excellent, and we're just basically loving the pool, loving the local excursions, dining options. Absolutely recommend, definitely. We'll be back soon. Would be nice to have car chargers nearby, but overall loved it. Okay, something like that. Very happy customer. Okay, so that's it. We have right now, if we look at the spreadsheet, you can see we now went from 3 to 5 responses. So now if we go ahead and simply run the process again, I'm running it manually only because it will run tomorrow night, and we don't want to wait till tomorrow night. But normally, when you turn it on as a task, as a workflow to run, it would run then when it's specified. So it will run every week. All right, let's see if we can get a new one. Check email. There it is. Okay. So let's pull this one up and see what it says. So now we got scoring from 1 to 10, overall satisfaction. It says it varies. some of the same points as customer service training for value perception. Okay, so it basically gives you these basic points and suggestions for improvement. See, additionally, investing in guest amenities such as EV charging stations could cater to emerging travel trends. Enhance. So again, very nicely written. Now it's taking advantage of the latest surveys information as well. And so this whole email, which is always going to be the same size, it's not going to make it any bigger or smaller, because it's basically addressing, I only told it to address it, make it concise. So it just compacts everything into this relatively small email, but based on all the information in the spreadsheets. And so every time it's going to be different in terms of what it actually says. And that's it. That's the entire process. Every Sunday it'll run, and it's going to be, super useful for me as, let's say, resort CEO or COO. And then, people can take action in terms of addressing whatever the needs are, and that's it. So this service could be set up for any business. It doesn't have to be a vacation business. Any business that wants to track what's going on in terms of customer satisfaction could be set up similarly. Obviously, the survey will be different, but the process itself will be the same. And then you can just, as a business owner, you can just receive these kind of reports on a weekly basis and or a monthly basis, whatever you prefer. And obviously, you can customize the actual AI prompt to be something different. Perhaps you'd also want to show the detailed comments from anybody who rates overall satisfaction at 1. So like the worst ones, you always want to see what they have to say in terms of comments. So you can add that to the prompt. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do. But the basic process is the same. You implement it one time, set it up, let it rip. People start filling out surveys. You get your reports weekly, and you don't have to do anything else. Everything is completely automated. So if you like this, great. I appreciate it. Maybe leave some comments below. Click on the old like and subscribe and share. If you don't like it, just share. That's good enough. I'm kidding, but thanks for taking the time. And if you have any questions, please leave them below. Until next time, I'm Oleg.